Hey there folks, and thank you again for joining me in this third video where Amos is driving me through my hometown, the city of Anacortes. Initially, because of the bad weather, FSD doesn't want to kick on, and so we get to see old school navigate on city streets. But hey, guess what happens? Miraculously, FSD kicks on after we get down the road a little bit, and it drives me the rest of the way home. So I would love it if you would join me on this third video as I head home using the latest version of FSD Beta 10.69.3.1. And if you enjoy this content, we would sure love a subscribe. So have a wonderful day and a wonderful, wonderful Turkey Day. And I just hope everybody is doing great. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Hey there folks, welcome back. You're joining me in Anacortes city limits. As you can see on the screen, we still don't have full self-driving back. So after I intervened to get around that little traffic mess, we weren't able to get FSD to kick back on due to this bad weather. So again, it's a great tool if the weather's nice, but it should work in all conditions. And so I really hope they're taking that into account and working on it. I'm sure they are, but it's not full self-driving if it doesn't drive in the rain and the snow and the fog and the dark and everything else. So you can still see autopilot, old school autopilot it reverted back to, is still working, but definitely more hesitant and kind of glitchy than FSD. Very slow on the uptake, hits the brakes too early. So we'll watch it drive us down here for a little ways, but it's not going to do any navigating. And this is old school, so those of us that have had full self-driving for a long time, this is what full self-driving on city streets looked like before we got the neural nets and the cool graphics. So bit nostalgic, kind of an old school view there, and will not take turns. It will stop and steer and all that stuff, but it won't do anything else. So thank you so much for joining me. Tesla Northwest and EVs just appreciates your time, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hey, look at that, we got FSD back just as I was about to end. So let's see how it does. We're gonna come up here. We've got an unprotected left-hand turn that we have to make. Excuse me, it is a protected left-hand turn, it's at a light. But the car acts weird and it does some funny things at this intersection, so we're going to see how it behaves. So far so good. Should be indicating and getting over into this turn lane. Okay, nicely done. And it's stopping for the red light. Good. Now we've got a blinking yellow, so we'll see if the car recognizes the blinking yellow and takes its shot when we have an opening. We're going to find out here in a minute. I'm really hopeful. Man, what a difference a few miles makes. Anacortes right here is in a bit of a rain shadow, so we can have it can be pouring buckets on one side of the bridge, and then we get here and not much anything. Very, very timid here. We could have made the turn a couple times and it hasn't yet. So we're gonna see what it does after this. We got this white truck, another white truck, and a Jeep, and I'm going to go. I intervened because we were gonna be stuck out in the middle of traffic, and so that is a problem. So there's an intervention. It could have taken the turn on the yellow. It was probably a safe move not to take that turn on behalf of the car, but we couldn't stay where we were because it had pulled too far forward. So a bit of a catch-22, and the car needs to be able to deal with situations like that. So I'm a little disappointed there. Good, made it through the yellow light there without hitting the brakes. Tesla will wave. Overall, the rest of this is a pretty easy drive. You guys have done this with me before, but we've got a cool left-hand turn onto Anacortes up here, and we'll see how the car does with that. So we can see we've gotten our warning. FSD is degraded again. I don't dare turn it off because it may not turn back on. This is going to be a long video. I apologize, but think it's a good first impression, and you're getting a little bit of a taste of everything. So you saw downtown Bellingham, and then you got to see merging onto Interstate 5. Got to see some State Route 20 in pouring down rain, and then we got to see old school autopilot navigate on city streets, and now FSD to end the trip. Looks like we got some ferry traffic, people just getting off of the San Juan Island ferry from Friday Harbor or Vancouver Island or San Juan Island. Yeah, so far so good. Everybody's being super cautious today. I guess that's a good thing, but makes for a slow drive home. These visuals, I just never get tired of them. It amazes me how quickly the neural nets can render and label things and then pop them up for us to see. And the whole time while we're driving, this computer is doing something like 15 trillion math computations a minute, something like that. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it's just a huge, huge number. And we've got our fingers crossed for version 11. So version 11 is out in the wild. It's being beta tested by employees right now. And version 11 combines autopilot into full self-driving. So now when you get on the interstate, it will be a neural net, not old school heuristic coded autopilot. And that should be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be a step change and supposed to go out to all people, wide beta release. So I don't think you need to qualify for a safety score once they release that. I could be mistaken, and it could end up being pushed into next year, but Elon seemed pretty confident that it would be working and open for wide release by December, so we'll see. I'm really excited for track mode. I cannot wait to get track mode, and I know there are tons of people going to be really excited about Apple Music, so those are all cool. Let's check out our energy. Well, we're going to take our left-hand turn here in just a second, so let's see how Amos manages this. So we've got some traffic in front and some traffic coming at us from the opposite direction, and we're going to see if we can execute this left-hand turn without any problems. Good blinker. Putting the blinker on before getting into this lane is awesome. That was a problem we had in the past where it wouldn't do that, so I hope that's an improvement. It seems like it. And very nice turn. In past beta versions, Amos would swing really, really wide for that turn. So that was really, really nicely done. And now we're going to roll up through here, and we'll see how the occupancy network and the labeling is working. This will be comparable to the video I made a little while back on the occupancy network. Holy Occupancy Network Batman, I think was the video. You can check that out in the playlist. Tesla. Well, this was a fun drive. I'm so glad you joined me. I hope you're making it here to the end. The ends are always kind of interesting, so for those of you that stick it out, I hope you appreciate it, because we've got some cool tests for Amos to do right up here. So these are really low lane dividers, and the car has a hard time seeing them sometimes and wants to hit them. So awesome. Completely missed them. Weird blinker. I don't like that. They took away my camera, so I can't report to FSD now, to the FSD team. I think they're just looking at certain cars. Ooh, came close to that curb. Okay, slows down a little more than it needs to, but not bad. And it's trying to figure this thing out. Okay, went around it. Nicely done. Very nicely done, Amos. All right. So we're going to come in here. We've got some corners. We're going to lower our speed just a tick. And then we're going to come out onto unmarked unmarked roads. So we'll see how Amos does going on unmarked roads with this latest build too. We kind of shoved everything into one video. Sorry about that, but you know what? It's okay. I'm doing this for fun. Very nice, good lane change or lane transition. Used a blinker, a little strange, but we'll take it. Very confident. Not really concerned rolling through here at all that there's no lane markings. Slowing down a little bit as it is normal for this corner. It's kind of tight and it's big. Nice. Missed the garbage cans. That's always a good thing. All right, now we got a left-hand turn. Wow. You know, this is a really good build. Couple disappointing portions where it acted a little bit goofy, but overall very smooth for the most part. Very confident for the most part. Yeah, they're gonna have this lick. It is definitely a improvement over dot 3. So we are literally a quarter mile away from my home, and you are not gonna get a very good view of the water today because it's overcast and raining, but I just appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the flip side.